Let's talk about inclusive language.
Chest feeding, birthing person, front hole.
Those aren't even terms used for cis women. Those are used for non-binary people and trans men.
Let's talk about inclusive language for a second, because a lot of the times on videos where I'm talking about birth or labor or pregnancy, I try and use inclusive language. Now, I don't get it right all the time. Even for someone like me who is trying to do my best, sometimes I fall flat. The language that we use is so ingrained in our brain that it's hard to do that 100% of the time, but you get better at it. For my own failings in that, I would like to beg the forgiveness of the non-binary and trans community.
You want to beg for forgiveness? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. If something is ingrained in all of our brains, why do we need to go against it?
But to the people who choose to skip the point of my message because they don't like the inclusive language that I use, this is for you. I am a woman, and I gave birth. But not everybody who gives birth identifies that way.
Yet everybody who gives birth is a woman. It doesn't matter what women identify as. They can get pregnant, give birth, because they're women. Don't you love how simple life is?
I know that when I do successfully use inclusive language, it is just a way to be kind to somebody I don't know.
By using inclusive language, which is not inclusive at all, using terms such as chest feeders, birthing people, vulva owners, you might be pleasing 0.01% of women who give birth. But you know what you're also doing? You're disrespecting 99.9% of all women. Not just the women who give birth, all women. Making what most women think is the most beautiful thing in the world, to give birth, into a gender-neutral thing is, I was about to say disgusting. It kind of is, but I think it's sad that you degrade yourself so much as a woman to please trans activists, non-binary activists, who don't respect you and will never respect you. You beg for forgiveness if you dare to make a tiny mistake, but guess what? No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what you think, you can always do better according to these people. According to these people, you will always do something wrong. You will never be good enough for them. What they want, their goal, is to make you feel uncomfortable as a cis ally. They want you to be confused. But most importantly, they get off by seeing you obeying them. You personally might have great intentions. You want to be kind to everyone. When are you going to learn that's not possible? You can't please everyone. I love the saying, if you're a friend of everybody, you're an enemy to yourself. In this situation where you claim that not all people who give birth are women, you're not only an enemy to yourself. Think about other women. Think about the women who've had enough being reduced to their reproductive system, their body parts. Think about other people instead of, I'm just trying to be kind.
It shows my acknowledgement of their presence in this space and my acceptance and welcoming of them. It costs nothing to me to be kind to others.
I mean, it does cost your self-respect, but as you already know, you can be a kind person, even if you don't affirm people's delusions. You don't become unkind for stating that there are only two genders. You don't become an asshole for stating publicly that non-binary is not a thing. I would actually argue kind people speak the truth and are not walking around bragging about how tolerant they are, open-minded and inclusive. Is it inclusive and open-minded to acknowledge non-binary? Are you really being kind to the women who identify as non-binary? No, you're not. No one on this planet is in between genders. We're all either men or women. When referring to one person, one woman, as they, them, you're not being kind. You're affirming their sexism, their internalized sexism. You're affirming the belief that she can't be a woman while having short hair, while being just a tiny bit masculine, only sometimes. You are affirming the belief that there's only one way to be a man and a woman. And if you can't relate to the narrow definitions of man and woman, you just have to identify as something else. All of it is bullshit.
Chest feeding, birthing person, front hole. Have you been told that you're not allowed to talk about pregnancy using feminine terms anymore? Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Jacob, I'm trans, and I gave birth to both of my children. And I run Transparent Change, a company that trains midwives, birth workers, anyone who works with people from fertility, pregnancy, and beyond on how to support trans people as they become parents.
What is the point of your company? Are trans people aliens or something? What are you teaching these midwives? Trans men are women, and it's not a new concept. You know, women giving birth. So I don't get the point of what you're doing. But go on.
I need you to know that it's a lie that you're being told about what trans people want. We don't want to take away the word woman or mother. We want you to be able to talk about your bodies in the way that feels good for you. And that's basically it. That's the core of what I train. It's about person-centered care, seeing the person in front of you and using the language that's right for them. That doesn't mean never saying the word woman, never saying the word vagina, never saying mother. It's the opposite.
I thought you were onto something, but you're just disappointing me, dear. Real transsexuals want nothing to do with inclusive language. Calling women vulva owners? How's that not degrading women? Only women can give birth. Of course, women are individuals, and not all women want to be treated the same way when they're pregnant, when giving birth. I get it. But to change language due to the false narrative that not all people who give birth are women is so stupid.
In fact, last year, about 1% of everybody who gave birth was trans or non-binary.
No, 100% of the people who gave birth not just last year, but since the beginning of time, were women.
So we know about 99% of people use the words woman and mother and breastfeeding, and that's the language that's right for them. But that 1% also needs to be seen and supported and held during a really vulnerable time in their life.
You're wrong again. Shocking. What we need to do is tell this 1%, no, call me a birthing person, not a mother. No, I'm assigned female at birth. I'm not a woman. No, you are a woman. It's my front hole, not my vagina. No, you have a vajayjay, baby. We need to tell these people, stop it. These activists act like spoiled brats, like spoiled children. We all know that situation when an annoying child is screaming at the grocery store, I want candy, I want candy. Being so loud. What do we do in that situation? Do we say, no, cut it out, don't behave this way? Or do we walk around saying to the people watching, give my child candy? She's in a vulnerable place right now, give her candy. What sounds more logical?
Language is a really important part of that, and so of course, one of the tools I give people is knowing how to ask the questions, what's the best way, and also just having an idea of what language people might want, although everybody's different.
What in the clown world is this? Language is important. Inclusive language is important. Well, you know what? Inclusive language is lying. When you affirm gender-neutral identities, you're just lying. It's not okay. Especially if you're a doctor or a midwife. You want medical professionals to lie about what they obviously see and hear. Lie to their patients about what they are, who they are. Of course you're not a woman, Mix Robinson, not Mr. or Mrs. Of course men can get pregnant. That's just Delulu, and I'm not here for it.
Those other terms like chest feeders or birthing person, those aren't even terms used for cis women. Those are used for non-binary people and trans men.
Oh, how convenient to change the narrative when people call you out for being an idiot. I have a question for you, babe. What if these terms were used for cis women? Would you condemn that? Would you be against it? Because the truth is, they are. Using terms such as birthing people, you're describing all women, not just the non-binary ones. All women can relate to these terms, so you can't claim it's not for cis women. And stop calling women cis. They're women, not cis women.
It's just like people are looking for something to be angry at and have no idea what they're talking about, so they're just nitpicking.
Right. Regular women are nitpicking, are petty, not trans activists. That's how it works.
Inclusive language actually doesn't have to be that hard. Instead of saying, hey guys, you can say, hey all, hey folks, hey team, hey friends.
No, we should all talk like normal people. No matter how good regular people are at using inclusive language, calling a woman a they, them, calling her a parent instead of a mother, it doesn't change the truth. Even if a woman has a full-size beard, looks like a man 100%, if she gives birth, she's still the mother of the child. It's something you can never change. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want to support me and my channel, you can become a member, or I have my PayPal link in the description down below. Remember to follow me on social media. I love you and I cannot wait to see you in the comments. Peace out.